Okay, Susan, what we're going to do on this session, we're going to talk about progress and hesitancy. Okay, yeah. So we're going to go recap and goals and so on this particular subject. Okay, so I have done driving before. We were driving around last time. Okay, and then so was a little bit issue maybe on my progress, normal driving progress, and hesitation was there. So that's what we need to really work on this session. Okay. So whenever you're ready, so we're going to practice again on this recaps, goals and needs, and all so on. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Let's put ourselves a little bit time as well this time. What do you think? If we just like maybe put like let's see, what time is it now? Maybe like 5-6 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just put the time back on. Or you can actually put timer on that one.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll just do it on there. Do it a bit more normally.
Okay. So it's 9:52. Say that, like, say, if I give you like, how many minutes do you think you can manage it? 7 minutes maybe?
Let's see if we can do it less, shall we?
Yeah. Yeah. So like say 9:53 to 10. Yeah. So 7 minutes max. Yeah. Let's see how much you can manage. Again, do not rush to take your time. 7 minutes quite a lot. 7 times 60 seconds, about 4,200. Yeah.
Yeah. Down to 4 in a minute. All 30 seconds.
Alright, 30 seconds just gone now. Okay. So whenever you're ready, I'm all yours. Okay.
Hi. Good morning, Sharan.
Morning. Yes.
Hi. So, can you remember what our concerns were on our last lesson?
Yeah, we drive around, and then something about progress and hesitation was, yeah.
Yeah, so generally had a good drive,
Yeah.
but as I say, when we did our feedback at the end, we talked about that there was some times that we weren't making sufficient progress.
Yeah.
And we're a bit hesitant at our junctions. So, what sort of score would you give yourself at that point for your driving on last lesson?
4 maybe.
About 4? Why do you think that is?
I think I wasn't really good. I didn't spot my speed limit sometime, and I was going a little bit slow some occasion, and also like did hesitate on junction a few times, and
Okay, so
there was a car overtake as well.
yeah. So we'll just have a look at the speed limit thing first. So why do you think you didn't know what the speed limit was?
I don't know. Just probably was not. I don't know. Just probably not looking.
Okay. So again, why do you think you're not looking?
I just look at the car speed. Really, I just see that what the speed they're going. So I just try to maybe copy them.
Well, we can't really just rely on other drivers because we do know at times they're not always sticking to speed limits.
But they all have license, and they should be good.
They do have license, and they should be good drivers, and they should stick to it. But we're driving ourselves now, so we're trying to be the best driver we can. So it's important that we are looking for the road signs ourselves. Again, because there's consequences of not seeing road signs, which we'll talk about a little bit at the end. So the other thing we were doing is we're a little bit hesitant at junctions last time. So again, so why do you feel that you're a bit hesitant?
Just feel like a bit more safer if I stay a bit longer, maybe and I just don't know when to go. Sometimes I'm just confused on when to go on junctions when cars come in. I remember you told me go now, but I wasn't going. I'm not sure how to judge that.
Okay, so what do you think we can do? So what do you think your goal of this lesson is?
To make it better, of course, to try to make it better progress and not hesitance. Yeah.
So we give ourselves a score of, I think, did you give yourself a score of 4 from last week's lesson? And what do you want to get to on this week's lesson?
Probably 8, maybe more.
Right, that's good. That's a good aim. It's really, the rest of your driving's up to a really good standard. So to try and help you with this, what sort of help would you like? Would you like me to talk you through the situations, actually guide you, so for instance, showing you where the roads, telling you the road signs are coming up, and with the junctions, sort of talking you through the junctions to help give you a good idea when it's safe and not safe to go? Would you like me to see what you're doing and just prompt you if you're not getting it right? Or would you like me to just leave you to drive and then we'll actually assess them afterwards?
I don't know, the judgment wise, I don't know, maybe you can just talk through it with me on the move. Yeah, just if you just show me Yeah, if you can just help me out, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to understand the risks of what we're doing with these faults as well. So we were talking about we're not making progress, we're not noticing the road signs. So
Okay.
what do you think the risk could be if we're, say, on a 50-mile-an-hour road and we're doing 35 miles an hour? What do you think the risk might be?
Oh, slow down traffic behind me.
And then what could happen if you're slowing down traffic behind them?
They may overtake.
They may overtake, they may start to get a little bit frustrated and overtake. And, you know, what's the consequences of them, particularly if they're getting a little bit mad and frustrated of overtaking? What do you think could happen then?
They go wrong side of the road to come around.
Yeah,
And
they could
then
make, yeah,
Could be affecting other oncoming traffic.
yeah, they can make rash decisions where they could start pouring around you when it's not safe to do so. As you say, it could
Okay.
affect us and other cars. And then what do you think again, what could be the consequences of being hesitant at a junction? So for instance, you know, we're coming up to a junction, we
Yeah.
can see, but we've stopped. What do you think could happen then? What do you think the consequences of that is?
The car beeping me behind me.
Could be one of the consequences. What else
Yeah.
do you think could happen? So we're coming up to an open junction, you're coming up to it, we haven't seen a car, but you stop at the junction. What do you think could happen?
Oh. Car at the back maybe hit me.
He might hit you because he's looking. Again, he'd be wrong, but he'd be looking and expecting you to go, and if you didn't go, he may not notice until late and hit the back of you. Okay, so
Okay.
there's some of the risks involved with us not if we're driving hesitantly and not driving up to the speed limits.
Okay.
So ultimately you're in the driving seat and we're getting to a good level, so you know you need to try and control these risks, not turn them into a hazard,
Okay.
by following the instructions and following the rules of the road
Okay.
and the training you've had so far. But
Okay.
remember, I'm here as well, so I'm sharing the risk with you. I'll give you instruction to try and move off. I'll highlight the speed limit signs and help you to get up to speed. Well, talk to you and ask you to accelerate to
Okay.
get up to speed. And if we do have any other issues where things get out of control, remember, as ever, I can stop us, put handbrake on, and use the steering wheel and other things to try and get us out of situations that get out of control.
Okay.
Okay, so there's any questions?
No, thank you. Let's come out role play. Under 6 minutes, about 6 minutes. Spot on, that was good.
Lovely.
How do you feel about it? Do you
Okay,
think anything you
veteran.
missed? Think about it. Anything you missed, you think?
I didn't gain a lot of information out of you on why you did
you
it.
did info.
Yeah,
That's, I think,
yeah.
more than enough for just recap for the last session.
I think not so much information on that one. More we'll deal
Yeah.
with it on the move, because generally I think
Yeah.
they're a good level of driver and just
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah.
lacking in confidence at this point.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get anything out of them until you actually get on the road and do
Exactly, because you can do some other things. Of course, you can chat on the move when
Yeah.
they're doing it different. Yeah. Because if you do too much on recap and briefing for too long,
Yeah.
then people get a little bit bored, isn't it, as well? And they can actually start getting bored, and then they're not even listening to you sometimes.
Well, I think particularly on the progress and hesitancy, there isn't an awful lot to talk about in theory wise. It's
Yeah.
almost you've got to do the physical practice
Yeah.
for them to see that.
Yeah.
At that point, we're talking about them driving normally. They know what they should be doing. They're just
Yeah.
perhaps lacking in confidence to actually
Yeah.
do it, or a bit overwhelmed sometimes and missing speed limits. But
Yeah.
you know,
Okay. So yeah, and then just like a couple of again technical information could be most helpful there.
yeah,
If he didn't know, okay, he said that okay, don't see the signs, or he didn't know what the speed limit was. Okay, you could have like add that technical information. How would he know
yeah,
where the speed limits are? How would he know what the speed limit without any signs? So you know, you could have add like repeaters, for example.
Yeah.
If there's 40, there's a lot of repeaters
Yeah.
there. For the 30, we don't have repeaters, for example. Yeah, or signs on cameras sometimes. And 20, we have a lot of repeaters. This is if he didn't know how to
Yeah.
find out the speed limit.
okay.
And about the judgment, do you have any technical information about the judging the gap to go? Because you talk about consequence on that one. Okay, if you hesitate and you
Yeah.
don't go, what happened and so
You
on.
mean the hesitant
Judgment of going.
at junctions?
Yeah.
I mean, we do have if you're turning right. If you could walk across the road, you can drive across the road.
Yeah, that's a
and
good one.
just the
So I
others.
would have used that, so I would give that quick
Yeah.
technical information on them.
And just the others is
Yeah.
are not on hesitancy. The other way around is that you feel that
Yeah.
you've got to be able to just
Yeah.
pull out, so
Yeah.
you're not changing their speed and direction. It's
Yeah.
always a bit harder with the left.
Yeah. So that technical information is it was good to give, like especially for
Okay.
that hesitation. Yeah.
Okay.
If you can walk across, you can drive across.
Yeah.
So then when you're on the move, then you can actually remind them, okay, that can you walk across now here? Can you run across here?
Yeah.
Or what do you think about it? Give them that judgment.
Okay.
Easier. Or if you didn't say it on the briefing, actually on the recap, you can actually mention it on the move anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so it wasn't bad at all. So yeah, what do you think? Yeah, so do you think improve better now on this recap?
Well,
and
I've got all the points in, and I've
it was
got
all
it.
point was there, yes.
I've got it a bit snappier, which is better.
Yeah. No, you did fine. It was just like kind of few of just main point of each. Yeah. Couple of QA and then that's it, and then bang on, and then which consequence to be shared. I like the way that you work on the risk. That was really beautiful, because what you did when you talk about the consequences, and same time you mentioned the risk.
Yeah.
So that's a risk. Okay. Then you link it together. Okay. With the sharing responsibility. So you didn't need to do another QA again. Okay, we're gonna go practice this one. What are the risks?
Yeah.
Because we already talk about risk. Yeah. What are the consequences if you stay too long? What's happened there? What's happened there? What's happened there? So that's the risk, isn't it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you quickly need to talk about sharing that responsibility together.
Okay.
So you really actually link them beautifully
Thank you.
together. So you didn't need to repeat it again and again. See that? That's why you got good timing on that one. So that's 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, I would say maximum, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Felt comfortable.
That
with
should
that
be
one.
okay, because you got your test is 1 hour time, so you don't want to run out of time. Yeah. Get when you're rushing around. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe you keep worried about time to heading back to test center, and then your heart gets in faster. Oh my god, I need to go back. I need to go back. Any question?
No, I don't think so. At the moment.
Yeah. You okay at the back, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So.